G'day, that safety guy here. Brickies and bricky scaffold, or scaffold period. Take a look at this one. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there is a worker right up here, up on the top of the second section of scaffold, dismantling it. No fault protection whatsoever, no harness, no nothing. The question asked of me was, what am I supposed to tie off to? So here's a funny answer. A, I took the same working in heights class that you did. I took the same scaffolding course that you did. And I know the answer. The silly part is he confused that safety guy with his supervisor or his employer. It's actually up to the employer to make sure that the worker's competent. It's up to the supervisor to make sure that the worker's competent. I know of at least 4 ways to safely tie off, to dismantle that scaffolding. However, he is the professional. Gets paid as a professional, acts like a professional, wants respect like a professional, but doesn't act like a professional. And if I tell him, or if I advise or hint towards a method to do this, they're all inconvenient. It's not a shortcut enough. So I have to ask him again, what's more inconvenient? Setting up travel restraint or setting up fall protection, or falling off and winding up in the hospital? How inconvenient is that? Or best case scenario, a government official shows up and shuts you down. That's inconvenient too. But if you take the extra 5-6 minutes to think about how you can set up a proper anchor point and a lifeline, then we're all good. So as a safety professional, at least in Ontario and in most provinces, we are advisors. We cannot act like supervisors. That takes away from how we do our job. But it's up to the employer and up to the supervisor to make sure that they have competent workers. It's that simple. Shortcuts wind up being long cuts at the end of the day, right? I had to pull them down. I had to give them that safety talk, right? And the worst part was about that whole particular situation was he didn't even make the effort. He didn't even have his harness in the same area with him. So again, I'm not your supervisor. I'm not your employer. I'm here to protect my client, which is the constructor. And I have 12, 14 different clients that I have to deal with on a weekly basis. So we lean heavily on the employers to do the right thing. We lean heavily on the supervisors to do the right thing. Take a minute, think about it, set up your workplace better. There are several ways that he could have been anchored properly so that he didn't get hurt. Okay? Again, if I tell him how to do it, then I'm stepping in his role of supervisor, and that is not my mandate, and that is not that's not how I do the job. Okay? We have to have competent supervisors, and they have to be hired by employers who hire competent workers at the same time. All right? So there we go. You need to tell me how you're going to tie off. I took the same class. I know how to tie off. I know how to do that job right? But we took the same class, so why don't you? That's my question. Okay, bye.